Miss Christy, I got a question to ask you. It's a matter of life and death. Yours! Christy Huddleston paused near the edge of Big Spoon Pond. Creed Allen, a 9-year-old who was one of her students at Cutter Gap Mission School, dashed toward her. "What is it, Creed?" Christy called. "The Reverend Grantland and I were just about to go for a boat ride." Creed came to a stop, panting. "I know! That's what I gotta ask you about." "Actually, Creed," David Grantland said with an impatient roll of his dark eyes, "I have something to ask Miss Christy, too. Something very important." Christy looked at David in surprise. Something in his expression sent a shiver through her of excitement mixed with uncertainty. Could it be? David had arranged this special evening so carefully. He'd told Christy to dress up, so she'd worn her favorite yellow dress and braided daisies and her sun-streaked hair. David was wearing his Sunday best, and his dark hair was slicked back. They'd had a dinner picnic. David had brought hand-picked flowers and a homemade cake his sister Ida had made especially for the occasion. He'd even brought a candle along in case it got dark. The sun was just now beginning to sink, sending a golden sheen over the pond. Creed tugged on Christy's arm. His freckled face was tight with worry. "Oh, please, Miss Christy, I need to talk to you in private. It's for your own good, I reckon." "David," Christy said, "would you mind giving Creed and me a moment of privacy?" David sighed loudly. "Creed, do you understand that Miss Christy and I are in the middle of—" He hesitated, glancing at Christy. "Of an appointment?" "Appointment?" Christy teased. "Is that what it is, David?" "Shucks, preacher," Creed said apologetically. "I didn't know you was appointin'. I just figured you was sweetheartin'." Christy stifled a giggle as David's cheeks turned as red as the setting sun. "Tell me, Creed," she said, taking the boy aside, "what brings you so far out of your way? What was it you wanted to know?" "Well," Creed tugged at a ragged overall strap, "it's like this. Can you swim?" "Yes, I can, but why do you ask?" Creed lowered his voice to a whisper. "See, me and Sam Houston saw the preacher out here after school practicing his boatin'. Now, the preacher's mighty fine at speechifying, don't get me wrong, but he ain't no boatin' man." Creed glanced at David, then hung his head sadly. "It was like watching a hound try to strum a banjo. Just 'cause he tries hard don't mean the Lord meant it to be so." "Thank you, Creed, for your concern," Christy said, trying very hard not to smile. "But I promise I'll be fine." "That's a mighty tippin' old rowboat." "We are not going to tip over, Creed." Creed did not look at all convinced. "Now, you run along," Christy said. "I'll see you on Monday at school." David was waiting by the boat impatiently. What was it Creed wanted? He was concerned about my well-being. "As it happens," David said with a smile, "so am I."